What's up, my gamer guys and gals? Your boy One Light Gamer here, recording the Season 2 draft review for the ISBL team of the Virginia Volcoronas. Yes, Season 2 is here. Uh, that's kind of why the last week has been. I didn't really record any videos. Just been really busy trying to get some other content going for the channel, and focusing on this draft here and work and all that stuff. Um, after after the season, the finals, we took Christmas off and then immediately started drafting for the past like week or so. um, it's been interesting, it's been fun, a lot of surprising things have happened. But I'm just gonna go ahead and get right in it. Starting off the team is not something I really thought was going to happen, really. Is Latios. Now, I love Latios. I think it is a first round pick viable Pokemon, but I actually had the first pick. Now, this core, you see Latios, Weavile, Blastoise. That's what I wanted going into the draft, 100%. It's what I've been building with, it's what I've been strategizing with. Um, I knew this was going to be how I got my first three picks right here. It was going to be these three. So when I got first round pick, it kind of threw me because there's so many other things I could have done. I could have grabbed Landers again. I could have grabbed something like Mega Pinsir was on my mind. Kyurem Black, Victini was on my mind. Mew, um, shit, Tapu Koko kind of came in there for a second or two. Just so many crazy things I could have done. First round pick right there, bang, could have done anything I wanted. And I grabbed a Pokemon that didn't happen until pick 3 last time, or round 3. So it kind of sucked. I really kind of wanted a later pick so I could have later in the draft taken advantage of that, but it's okay. The wheel pick was nice. It got me a couple steals here and there. So Latios is a tremendous Pokemon to have. Last season I had Latios, and it did really well. Choice Scarf Latios, mostly. Just kicking ass. Now, if you didn't know, there's only a few differences in the Pokemon. Mist Ball. Latios gets Mist Ball, which is base 70 with 50% chance to lower special attack. Latios gets Luster Purge. I also Latios gets Dragon Dance, and Latios does not, I believe. And Latios also gets Memento, whereas Latios gets Healing Wish. Now, Memento is fine. Healing Wish would have been nice. I think Healing Wish is a better move, IMO, but I actually grabbed Dark EMZ, so Z Memento will work the same if I want to run that. Levitate. Yeah, Levitate just give me a ground immunity. Great Pokemon. And the only other difference between the two is that Latios has 10 base attack higher and 20 base special attack higher, whereas Latios had 130 SpDef and 90 defense, and you get the picture. So it's a really good Pokemon. I really like it. It's one of my top 5 favorite Pokemon of all time. I've used it in draft league. I've used it in OU. I'm so familiar with this Pokemon and how to use it. I know it like the back of my hand. I'm really glad I got it, to be honest. Next up, there's no way. Okay, hold on. There's no way I couldn't do this. Season 1 captain, Season 1 MVP, whatever you want to call it. Season 1 MVP of the league was Sneasel. The Pokemon that's actually being suspect tested right now in NU. Just found that out. Jesus, Marshadow got doubles OU banned? No, that's crazy. Nothing gets banned from doubles OU. There's like fucking Aegisteel and Blazing. Anyways, Sneasel is a really good Pokemon, and now Weavile, who has 30 more base attack and 10 more base speed. if you look at it right here, Sneasel has 25 base higher attack, 10 defense, 10 SPDF, 10 special attack, 15 HP, and 10 speed. So it's really not that. It's only 80 base stat higher, but I really wanted it. This thing is a monster. Um, I've used it in OU, and 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 I'll be honest, I've had more success with Sneasel than I have Weavile, but I'm really, really excited. There's no way I couldn't grab this Pokemon after what it did for me in Season 1. Very happy to have it. I don't like Sneasel. Um, it doesn't give me much coverage options. Yeah, it doesn't get anything that Sneasel doesn't have, I believe. It's worth a damn. But it's so good. Like my Sneasel set was pretty much the same every time. One, maybe two moves changed, but it's gonna be interesting. And I also have Dark EMZ, so if I want to run like Dark Knockoff or Dark Night Slash or something, that's gonna be very cool. Next Pokemon, Mega Blastoise. Top 5 favorite Pokemon, guaranteed. Right up there with Latios is one of my favorites. I've never actually got to use it in a draft league though. I've used it competitively in laddering and doubles, but I've really never had a good chance to use it in a draft league. I really like it. It's an amazing Pokemon. Stat wise, it has no flaw. 78 base speed for isn't bad. If it had 80 base speed, it'd be broken. But 78 keeps it in UU. 115 SPDF, 120 defense. This thing can be built either way to be a tank. 135 special attack. Amazing fucking hitter. 306 uninvested with Mega Launcher. You're going to be smacking things left and right. 103 base attack. And that's actually really good because this thing gets Aqua Jet, which is a really good move. Gives me priority. Also, I can run things like, if I want to get crazy, I can run Fake Out. It also gets Skull Bash, which raises its defense. Where's Skull Bash? Skull Bash raises defense and then hits. That's a really good. That could be that could be something I did. And if you didn't know, Mega Launcher gives a 1.5. Basically makes moves like Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Stab. Basically gives it a 1.5 boost. It also means if I wanted to hit something a little harder, instead of running Scald, I could run Water Pulse, and it gives me 90 damage. Gives me the chance to confuse, but I think we'll probably stick with Scald for the most part. It's a really good Pokemon. Rapid Spin, one of the best Rapid Spinners in the game, just because of you can't really spin block it. You say you want to go into like a Ghost type, it has Stab Dark Pulse, which is going to hurt really bad. So I mean, like for instance, Gengar can't 2-hit KO with like Thunderbolt unless it's like Specs, I believe. Life Orb Gengar might, but and Gengar's not going to eat Dark Pulse, so it's that kind of thing. Just a really good Pokemon. I really wanted it. Glad I got it. Next up is a Pokemon I was gonna grab last season and didn't. I really like this Pokemon. I hated it. I actually did. I hated it back in Gen 5. Hated it, and then I started kind of looking at it in recent times, and I've really fallen for it. The whole Magic Guard Regenerator thing. 2 amazing abilities that it gets access to. You can run it defensive or special defensive. Its best set, in my opinion, is a Calm Mind max defense set. As long as you don't get crit with that set and you get set up like +1 or +2, you can just kind of win. 125 special attack, meaning you not uninvested. You can still hit things pretty hard. Um, its move coverage could be better if I remember correctly. I mean, energy ball, flash cannon, focus blast, psychic, psyshock, shadow ball, signal me. It's not that bad. Thunderbird, T wave, trick, trick room, gets recovered. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good Pokemon. I really like it. I grabbed it for a reason, obviously. Um, I was this far in the draft, and I didn't, and I feel like grabbing some walls really would have helped. Um, Mega Blastoise can wall things, and Assault Vest Latios can take some hits, but um, this thing really gives me like a fighting switch in because for Katana and stuff like that. Um, I just really like it. It gives me a burn soaker. I already have one in the next Pokemon, obviously, but I really like this thing. Glad I got it. Um, Next, we got Easy Bake here. Rotom Heat. Geez, I don't know where to start with this thing. Rotom. Rotom is one of the most annoying shits I've ever dealt with. Rotom Wash, I have a lot of experience with. I ran that thing into the ground in Gen 6, running it on a lot of OU teams, a lot of VCG teams when I used to play. Have a lot of experience with Rotom Heat as well. I think that's another amazing Pokemon. Just now, and not to mention now it has Defog, which is crazy. So it gives me a defogger if in case I don't run Blastoise or something. Um, this Pokemon is not to be shit on either. It's a really good, really good. It's just amazing. No real flaw here besides his attack stat, and you don't need it. 107 defense and special defense, 105 special attack, 86 speed. It can outspeed other walls and run things like taunt. It does not get taunt. Never mind. You can volt switch out on him. Can't really. You can't beat it down. You have to kind of whittle it down. And I don't have to run it as a wall either. I can run it as a sweeper if I wanted to. Run Choice Scarf on it. Can run Choice Specs on it. I know I can get really crazy with this Pokemon if I really want to, and that's one of the things I like about it. Is I can just kind of go wild with it. Trick, set, Will-O-Wisp, Volt Switch. Really glad I got it. Gives me another ground immunity, which is great. Things aren't going to really be able to click Earthquake safely on my team with one resist and two, and not, never mind, water. What am I thinking? Water doesn't resist. But with two immunities, I mean, it's going to be really hard. Next up is Terrakion now. I'll be honest. I didn't really expect to grab this thing. I was 5 picks in, as you can see. I planned these 5 out, kind of. I knew I wanted these 3, and I was pretty sure these were my 2. I had a wish list, right? I had a wish list of the 3 of my main core being these 3, then a couple other Pokemon to draft after that, and then I didn't know what to do going into the round 6. I just had my first 5 rounds kind of picked up, and I got to round 6 and realized I was going to have enough points to draft in tier 2 again, which was pretty cool. And I was like, you know what? I should grab Terrakion. Not only does that give me another fighting resist, I don't know what, or dark resist. No, what the fuck am I saying? Yes, it gives me a dark resist because you can see I have these 2 psychic types here. I do have Katana right there, but Weavile is not going to take many hits. It gives me a dark resist, and it can actually use that justified ability very well. You give it an attack raise, say I'm Choice Scarf, I'm going to destroy you, you know? Um, so everyone's got to be really careful with switching into Roman here. Um, it, you know, it's a pretty good Pokemon. 129 base attack. Not bad defenses. Pretty good speed. Um, move pool, close combat, earthquake, uh, frustration, poison jab, iron head. Gets priority, quick attack, roar, rock polish setup if I want to. Sacred sword for annoying setup Pokemon. Gets stealth rock. Can get a substitute set. Swords dance, taunt, toxic. U-turn. I mean, it gets the whole 9 yards. This is a really amazing Pokemon. I've never really used Terrakion. I've used it once on a competitive team back in early Sun and Moon, but it was literally it. It was the only time I've ever used it. I've used Virizion a lot, a counterpart to it. Um, haven't used Cobalion. Used Keldeo a lot, but never really used Terrakion. I'm excited too. It was a really good. It was an unexpected surprise to the team, but I'm kind of glad I got it. I really think it's going to be very fun to use, I should say. All right, and that was our first 6 picks. Next up, was the rest of the team? Excelgor being next with my 7th round. I was really, if you look at the team, I have a 115, 120, 78, doesn't matter, 86, and 108. My speed tiers, I was getting pretty good speed tiers, in my opinion, covering a lot of bases. And then I really wanted something over 120 just for things like last season, like low things like low punny and Manectric, made me have to run Scarf on certain things to be able to deal with it. Low punny was very scary for my team in the finals, and I think that's one of the reasons I lost was because I really was scared of low punny, where if I had like a Jolteon or something like that, it wouldn't have been able to run at him, and I wouldn't have been as scared. But so I really like Excalibur. It gives me a Spikes user, which I really wanted. This Pokemon is actually really cool. It has a pretty good special attack in 100, amazing speed. Bug Buzz gets Encore support, Energy Ball, Final Gambit support, Focus Blast, Giga Drain, Knockoff, Pursuit, Quick Attack, Recover. It really is Sludge Bomb, Spikes, T-Spikes, U-Turn. It doesn't have a lot to it, but it is a really amazing Pokemon. I'm really glad I got it. It's gonna be pretty good to use. Really liked it. Next up, we're kind of just rolling through these. I really didn't have too much to say about them, but Eli the Whimsicott. Now, this was interesting. A lot of people are drafting weather and terrain teams. There's like 3 or 4 of them. I can see up on the board right now, and I have no kind of the best way of dealing with that is running your own weather or terrain. Now, not only does this Pokemon get Misty Terrain, which will fuck that up, but it gets things like Sunny Day and Rain Dance. It does not get Rain Dance, but is it Sandstorm? No. Okay, but it gets Sunny Day because there's a lot of rain. There's 2 rain teams and an electric terrain team, and I think there might be a Sandstorm team. So neither of those really, like Sunny Day being a thing. This gives me another speed tier, not one that I really needed, but I was looking at this thing, Torkoal and Light Epard, and Torkoal already had a bulky fire type, and I kind of wanted this thing over Light Epard, one because I really wanted a fairy type as well. Does this thing get Wish? Wish? It is not. Okay. But this thing is pretty cool. Getting cotton defense so I can set up and really make that base 85 a lot higher. Encore for trapping setup Pokemon or stalls. Um, Giga Grass Knot, um, Hurricane if I wanted to be that guy. Leech Seed, get me screen support. Z Memento, which I don't know if it gets priority. That'd be cool if it did. Um, Stun Spore priority. Switcheroos priority. Sub Taunt. This thing is going to be really annoying for people to deal with. It can really help Pokemon like Terrakion if I can get a Stun Spore off on the right thing, or Weavile, it can be really helped out. Um, I, I'm really happy to use it. I've never used Whimsicott before, not in Let's Plays, not in VCG, not in competitive. This is literally going to be my first time using a Whimsicott, but I'm very happy about it. I really wanted it. I was really excited that I grabbed it. Next up is a Pokemon that I was actually very excited to grab. Um, Reinhardt. Um, I love Regirock. I think this is a very underrated Pokemon. Very underrated. Um, it is. What tier is it? I believe it's NU. It's PU. It's PU. That is stupid. Um, I remember in Oris running this thing UU. You know, this thing is really amazing. I ran it UU. I ran it RU. I ran it NU. This thing is. I literally mean this. It is an amazing Pokemon. Base 200 defense is so hard to wall break. I do not have to run any investment in it. I don't. I can run it max SPDEF, and you can't touch it. You know, um, I can. It doesn't get any healing moves besides rest, which is sad. Gets drain punch, which is really good, but if this thing got like slack off or something like that, it'd be broken. It really would be. Um, just able to just take hits, man. I have 3 ground immunities on this team, so its only weaknesses are water, ground, fighting, steel, grass. Jeez. Okay, so it has like 5 weaknesses, but I have answers for all of those things. This is a really good rock setter. Like it's access to a lot of good. It's got really good coverage too. Drain punch, earthquake, explosion, fire punch, hammer arm, ice punch, iron head, power up punch, rock polish sweep set, rock slide, seismic talk, stealth rock, stone edge. I mean, you can just see this thing gets thunder punch. It's an amazing Pokemon. Um, gets sturdy if I want to run that. Probably won't clear body, so it can't be fucked with like intimidate or anything like that. It really is. One of my favorite sets back in the day to use was a assault vest max defense set. Or you can run. I'd run it. I wouldn't necessarily run it max defense. Um, I ran it a lot of defense, some special defense, and max HP, and it was just really hard to wall break. It really is. It's a great Pokemon. I hope some people sleep on it so I can kind of show them what it can do. I'm really looking forward to using it. Great Pokemon. Next up, um, Violet, the Haunter. Um, After Regirock, I'm just kind of, it's at that point where I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here. If you look at my team, what? Whimsicott's base 77. Selgor's got base 100, but um, I'm not really gonna. I've got really no like special sweepers. Reuniclus isn't gonna sweep. Turbo's not gonna sweep. Um, Rotom he can, but if I, it's there's it's hard to speak. Rotom he can be that sweeper, but Its best moves are Overheat and Thunderbolt. Not a lot of coverage, you know. Um, so there will be times I can see myself using Scarf Rotom or Specs Rotom, but I don't have to, you know. If Latios isn't a good option, uh, Haunter or something gives me a good sweeping option, you know. I can see myself sweeping with a Selgor, don't get me wrong, but uh, Haunter is a really good option. 115 special attack, 95 speed, you know, just a great move uh, move pool with Clear Smog, Dazzling Gleam, Destiny Bond, Energy Ball, Giga Drain, Hex, Haze. You know, it's just an amazing move set, in my opinion. I want to see something real quick. Do I get ball? No. Okay. That would have been cool. Paris song, Mean Look, or something like that. Um, this thing does get Mean Look, but I could run that Mean Look, Paris song, Protect, Shadow Ball, or something. I don't know if I would, but it's there. It's an option. uh, this thing just is a really good Pokemon. I'm really glad I got it. It's gonna help out the team. It gives me a Poison type and a Ghost type. Neither that I didn't have. Really good, looking forward to use it. Have some experience with Gengar, so I really think Haunter should just be an easy Pokemon to work with. Next up is Togedemaru. Um, this is actually interesting. The draft is still going on, technically. We're in the last round. There's like 4 picks to go. I'm the very last pick of the draft, and it looks like I'm going to get Togedemaru. I don't see anyone stealing it. Um, I don't see that happening. Um, so this just looks like how it's gonna go. I really wanted Togepi tomorrow because I really wanted a Steel type. I really needed one. um, second of all, it gives me a speed tier above base 95, um, which is a really good thing. I was really kind of focused on speed tiers going into this. The only one I did not hit that really upset me was a base 100. Yeah, I've got 110 covering, 125, 78, 30, 86, 108, 145, 16, 50, 30, 50. I didn't get the 40s. I didn't get the 40 or 60 base here. Um, that's okay, though. I'm not too worried about something that slow might just run adamant anyways, or modest. So I think I really got my speed tiers covered for needing to outspeed certain things and making sure certain things can't run modest or adamant. But little BB here, I think, is just going to be a pretty good Pokemon. I really wanted a Steel type, like I said before. Um, kind of weird that I had to wait all the way to my last pick to grab it. I should have maybe grabbed it a little sooner. I was thinking about Magnezone and Magneton earlier, but I initially thought, Togedemaru. It's got Sturdy, it's got Iron Barb, so I can run that. Encore, Fake Out, Grass Knot, Discharge. It's got a lot of options to run. It's a really good Pokemon. It gets slept on a lot, but it's base 98 attack, you know? Um, I think it's pretty good. I think it's a really good Pokemon. I hope um, I can actually use it the right way, get some use out of it. But that's it. That's the Virginia Volcoronas. This has been a very long video going over them. It has been, what, 30 minutes? That's not that bad. But I really enjoyed it. I think this Pokemon and others are going to be killing it this season. I'm really looking forward to season 2. And until week 1, I will see you guys later.